Momentum. What is momentum? We define momentum as the product of mass and velocity. That is, momentum is equals to mass into velocity. But I want to ask you one question. What will be the change in the momentum when two elastic bodies collide with each other? Means, what will be the change when it will be an elastic collision? Don't know the answer? We are going to understand, or we are going to find the answer with the help of an experiment. So stay tuned. Now the concept behind this is momentum. Now what exactly is momentum? The first thing which we should understand is alone mass cannot produce force or cannot result into force, and alone velocity also cannot result into force. So force requires both mass and velocity. So a term or a quantity which relates mass and velocity is called as momentum. So how exactly are we going to define momentum? Momentum can be defined as the product of mass and velocity. So momentum is equals to mass into velocity. Now Newton told us that there is a relation between force and momentum, and this is called as Newton's second law of motion. So let us understand what exactly is Newton's second law of motion. So Newton told us that force or applied force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. Now, when I am talking about rate means anything which is related to time. Rate of change of momentum. Change in momentum is final momentum minus initial momentum. What we said, momentum is product of mass and velocity. So, what will be final momentum? It will be mass multiplied by final velocity. And what will be initial momentum? It will be mass multiplied by initial velocity. So we are going to say force is directly proportional to m into v, that is final momentum, minus m into u, that is initial momentum, where v is your final velocity and u is your initial velocity upon time. How time came? Because it is rate of change of momentum. So I can take m as common because we know mass doesn't changes. What changes is the velocity. मैंने बॉल को आगे की तरफ किक मारा, फुटबॉल आगे जाते जाते छोटा नहीं हुआ ना ही बड़ा हुआ, मतलब उसके मास में कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ा. क्या चेंज हुआ? उसका वेलोसिटी, मतलब वो धीरे चलने लग गया या तो फास्ट चलने लग गया. सो हम लोग मास को बाहर कॉमन निकालेंगे. आई विल बी गेटिंग एफ इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू एम इनसाइड द ब्रैकेट v minus u upon t. But change in velocity, that is v minus u upon time, change in velocity upon time is called as acceleration. So at the place of v minus u upon t, I can write acceleration. So what we get f is directly proportional to m into a. Now if I'm going to remove the directly proportional sign and introduce an equal to sign, then I have to introduce a constant. So I'm going to get f is equals to k times m into a, where k is our constant. The value of constant is equal to 1. So the final answer which we are getting is f is equals to m into a, that is force is equals to mass into acceleration, and that becomes your Newton's second law of motion. Now what is the trick to remember Newton's second law of motion? We can remember it by a trick, that is if f is equals to ma is ma, we are going to say father is equals to ma. So Newton's second law of motion is father is always equals to ma, that is equal to mother.